sex in its lowest form to have children. Now, you read that in the transcript. Imagine the peace are doing that. Okay, now, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the monologues were not erotic. They were not lust-inciting, but while they did not arouse sex, they insulted sex and debased it. That's the schmucky D.H. Lawrence cop-out. And it surely prurient is not the limited meaning of lust-inciting. Otherwise, a picture or a film could escape the ban by being so disgusting, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't have, it's limited, it's not restricted to that, but it must embrace that. And E. from London, Esquire, who represented, the authority, my attorney. E. from London, Esquire, who represented the defendant, said during the trial, it is not always what arouses sexual desire that is considered obscene. One of the opinions of our court has been that what is obscene is what insults sex and debases it. And it's, here it is, oh yeah. Surely the latter is not an unlawful act. It may be an emetic. It's not an aphrodisiac. Now, I think it's a beautiful misreading of the law. I've seen this in 3 opinions. Because it's a part of the code that says sex, nudity, or excretion, some reason they thought excretion had to do with fecal matter, which it does not. In fact, humans don't excrete fecal matter. Only plants and animals do. We secrete it. And how I know that they thought that meant caca is because they thought that emetic had something to do with enema. How I know that ties up because it's a scatological reference, and that does mean shit. The Bruce performance clearly insulted sex and debased it. There were a series of, they were devoid of any cohesiveness. There were a series of unconnected items that contained little of social significance. They were chaotic, haphazard, and artful. And the Supreme Court, people were swindling, and the owner is equally guilty, and blah, 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 and Oliver Schulman, the defendant. Ella Solomon's participation was more limited, being essentially confined to assisting her husband. This is very strange. The owner of the club gets busted for presenting me. That's here. 5 days later, his wife says, I'm the owner, take me. She gets busted, okay? Now, for the first arrest, the owner is found less guilty than the man who presented, and the second time, the wife is found not guilty. Now, see, that's why the doctrine of reasonable doubt doesn't apply in obscenity cases. The reason for the law is that they knew that one guy would come from the country, this original law, who was unsophisticated. He would go to the city and he would see a very horny show or read a horny book. He would get horny and rape somebody who didn't read the book or see the show. So they said, let them game. We got to cool it. A brief word now about some dummies in our country. Alaska. The Alaskans are, you know, like the bad kid in school, you give them some responsibility. We gave them statehood, and they haven't gotten off their ass. National Geographic pissed away $2 million on those people. And they have one image, a schmuck in front of a shack holding a fish. That puts it. And there's another nonsense thing that hookers get $500 a second for talking to guys. You probably go up there, there's 6 million stranded whores waiting to talk. What the hell's the deal if they're supposed to talk to people? 6 million whores and Admiral Byrd. You don't go for a quarter. That's class rock. Some shingle salesman hustler did this to me. You put rock in here, the people come in, that's money. How come? Are you kidding? Vegas rock. They walk in, they know. I'll try half a wall, I'll see how it goes, that's all. This is craftsmanship. Then the brother-in-law came in on the deal. Then, shit. This is called the easy way out. This is when he really rationalized, the people want shit, they don't know the difference. Them shit, that's what they want there. Chicago. Chicago, 1962. Mr. Kelly's ringside. Guys that are tough, really stark. There's guys who wear wool suits with no underwear. They're talking while I'm working, and they sound like tape backwards. This is Toledo Teddy, Milwaukee, Phil. This is Mr. Schwartz, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, now these guys, you know, what the hell comedian, Lenny Bruce, these guys are talking, he doesn't rap to them. No, forget it. These guys, they dissolve partnerships with no litigation whatsoever. I go, hey, what happened to the partner that you had last year? He drowned. In February? Yeah. Couldn't he swim yet? Couldn't get out of the car. Oh. So when Shelley Berman's working, he doesn't know these guys. He does his act. These guys are talking. He gets bugged. They're talking and eating. What the hell's the matter with you? Why don't they shut these hoodlums up? Lucky for him, they didn't hear that. Physiologically, they heard it. But psychologically, no one would ever talk to them the other way, so it's a complete cutoff. As a manager, you want to throw these bums out. Now, who should know it's a dangerous table? If the owner is in the back of the room by the door going, and he's Jewish. Now, he keeps zinging away. Shelley comes up with the line, these guys here, unfortunate for him. Look, why don't you shut up, you goddamn mafia? These guys do dinosaur takes. Okay, there's two owners there. One owner's got another joint in Miami called the El Patio. He passed away since the owner. This guy is 6'6", no neck, 330 pounds, and he had a dual function. He was also an organizer for the union. What he did, he beat the shit out of all Cubans, made busboys out of them. That was his organization of the union, okay? Now, he's got a star sapphire in his head that are the same size. And he's sitting, he looked like a dressed up, very intelligent, listening, very intelligent, right? This guy was so tough. 6 months after he died, the bartenders didn't steal in case it was a trick. Yeah. Anyways, at the time, I was very involved with integration, and I was doing a bit that really walked the wire, you know. And there was 4 Southerners to my right who didn't agree with my point of view. So this chick really gets very hostile, and I look around, she takes an old-fashioned glass, she goes, bing! So it hits me, I said, oh, it's a weird heckler now, okay. When I got the glass, I went, oh, Christ, hope Barney's not in the room. But sure enough, I turn, I see him in the corner, Roby the robot. Oh, God, okay. Now, these 2 guys and the 2 chicks, they're good and juiced. They get to the door. Now, this is interesting about understanding, comprehension. This guy, born in South Philly, raised in the Bronx, is at the door first. Stark. Here comes 2 Southerners. They come from maybe St. Augustine. They've lived in that area. He says to them the most insulting thing in the world to South Philly, but they don't even hear it. He goes, hey, you motherfucker, what are your sunglasses? What? What the hell they say? What are your sunglasses? What are your sunglasses? What are your sunglasses? What are you throwing? Why are you throwing glasses? But even if they got the import of it, then they have to realize that that's not a question. That's just a preface for a good punch. Pock! Then the wife gets punched, it's just terrible, bitten on the face, a lobotomy and a chest x-ray. Now he throws them out, now he's waiting. And I'm saying, well, why don't these people leave? They get in the cab, they lock the door, the guy gives Barney one of these things in the way of, Barney punches the cab, boom, and stops it. So the driver got out, who punches cabs? The medallion is bent. You're going to call it to come here. We cover for punching. You know, it's really a beautiful fade for foreign film. To see those people in the back seat turning gray, like, woo! Oh, yeah, just, I think that what's happened with the crime, you know, there's no more of those kind of cats. And maybe what happened is that there's no crime. The economy is way up. Welfare is up, and the strange thing has happened. Economy up, welfare is up, and you don't need $200 suits anymore. It's no diamond rings. The Volkswagen is in. So maybe the crime, well, it's like narcotics. I'm sure that the reason that opiates are against the law, they're a deterrent to the people because it makes schleifers out of people. And knowing that they're goof-ups and that through the intemperate use of drugs, they lost the power, the will to self-control. They're completely out of it. They're not organized people. So you know that in 1950, I guess if there's perhaps 10,000 dope fiends in the state and only 50 narcotics officers, today I'll bet you there's a good 6,000 narcotics officers and 2 dope fiends left. And nihiling